Hey, welcome back everybody. This is episode 6 of my Crafting Paradise Let's Play series, and we're gonna build a lot of machinery today. I was building the first factory, I laid it all out, and I'm waiting on more gravel right now because I'm using concrete a lot in that build. And we also are running again low on redstone and iron, so it is time to craft some autonomous activators. And I prepared all the materials, but I wanted to craft them with you guys because they're part of a quest, so we can turn them in. And let's get started with that. So first, to make one set, which is 4 Enderium ingots, always need to make this blend, which one of the blends gives you 4. So one blend is enough for one activator. And I already pulverized the tin and the shiny metal. The shiny metal I got from the first time when I was sieving, and I got all the crushed ores and so on. Here's the platinum that I used, and when you pulverize that, one of them you get 2 metals, so that's nice. Right, so we can do, and we're gonna go ahead and melt 4 of these down, and then build them into input, output. And while I wait for this, I wanted to tell you guys what I have planned for the factory. Now, the first factory that we're setting up is going to be dedicated to automating all the crafting of building materials, cobble, gravel, sand, dust, as well as setting up an automatic system to sieve all these things. And I also want to build my storage system in there. And I was thinking a lot about which way we should go, and I think the best way to go for us is to have a lot of fun with this building. ME system is an incredibly good mod, and we are gonna make use of it eventually. But I was thinking that in this factory I want to see a lot of exposed piping, cabling. I want it to feel like a factory. So I was thinking of going with logistics pipes for all the automatic sorting and so on. And once we have a quarry going, everything comes into there and gets sorted. And I want to use Steve's Factory Manager to actually manage the smelting into ingots process. I think that's going to be a lot of fun setting up, and it's something different, not always just ME. And I hope you guys are gonna enjoy that. So now we have these. Gotta make the lithium, I think it's called. Yep. The sulfur, I got some from sieving, but I also got it just now as a byproduct from pulverizing coal. So there should be no shortage to that either. That goes in here and blend there. So yeah, the power also that we're gonna use in the factory, I was looking into that. There isn't really that many options, and I was thinking that if we go with steam and then steam dynamos, it's not my best idea, I think. So I looked into other generators. There really isn't that many options in this mod pack when it comes to power generation. Well, there is, but nothing big like big reactor where you can just make so much power. But I wanted to put these blaze rods into use because guess what? I got it up to tier 5. You guys see I'm up at 74 levels, and I farmed about, I think, around 20 stacks of blaze rods doing that. And also you see the luck, the lapis got up to 113. So that levels very slowly. We started at 60, and 1024 mobs later, we're at 113. But it's fine. We're not gonna do that much killing by hand anymore. So I'm glad we got this soul shard up to tier 5, and we're gonna automate a blaze farm. Right now we have 20 stacks of blaze rods, so that should last us a while. And there is a generator. Oh yeah, it's weird when you type in generator, it shows you all the materials you can burn in a generator also. First I was looking into the high temperature furnace generator. Don't like it. I guess it's good for when it runs longer or something, but these regular furnace generators are awesome. They generate 80 RF a tick, and they can run on blaze rods. So we're gonna go with that for the factory to power the pulverizers and whatever else we need power for in there. And I was thinking of setting up 4 of them. Of course, they need a lot of iron. That's 5 and 14 iron and 2 redstone. We are almost out of redstone again. So that's why we're setting up the sifting now, before we continue with anything else. These cursors are different recipe in this mod pack. I usually just know them as a hat. That's just different. What are we missing? Possible because of the cursor that didn't go in there. There's 1, and I want to make 2 of them because I want to take up 2 sieve, 1 for gravel and 1 for dust. And of course we're gonna get more eventually of these autonomous activators to speed this up. And this quest, and we get another sieve. This one, I'm gonna see where we're gonna put this one. Rainforest. We'll check that out. Alright, let's go down. Oh, I forgot, totally forgot. Sorry about that. We need to make 1 vacuum hopper. That's just an obsidian. Another end pearl. Oh, on those now. Copper. Oh, I've been melting more things. I also started making some bronze because we had so much copper in. Copper. Alright. And I prepared the area downstairs. You guys see I got rid of all this. Already moved over to the factory. I actually made a second dolly for that because there was so many barrels to pour out. Oh! I was tired of losing the good material storing this build to the void, so I made a level 0 magnet, which is all we need. And it's actually not that hard to make. It just takes 2 compass, which is easy to make. And this right here, it took 9 gold, and I made another 5 end stone with 1 ender pearl, like I showed you guys in episode 3, I think. So we got 4 end stone left over for now, and I used 1 in here. And all that does, in case you guys don't know, is throw something away, it gets sucked in. So if I break a block, it gets automatically sucked into my inventory, which is nice. Here. I can never remember how you place the face it. Of course not. The other way. I put the rest of the ore in here for now, the ones that I couldn't combine because we didn't have enough. There we go. This guy. Oh, it is working. Okay. Heck. And I think that there's enough gravel and dust here to make us plenty of items. And I'm gonna let this run now for probably a few hours and continue building the factory. And then we'll be back and craft all the logistics pipes items together. The other machines like pulverizers, extruders, and so on, I'm gonna make off camera because we already made them together and I want to save some time. So I'll see you guys soon. In order to make the logistics pipes, we need redstone golden chipsets. And so I set up an assembly table down here and 3 lasers. I'm not sure if blue means they're running at full efficiency or green. I think the middle one here, that's just a graphics bug, it's always on. So it is making them okay fast. I still have other things to prepare, but this way I got this started and the cube doesn't get drained because it only puts out 400 max, and I'm only producing 160. So I guess they don't need that much power. I thought that we're gonna be short on power, but it seems to be okay. And I also wanted to show you guys, I added 2 more autonomous activators because, well, I thought it's gonna be too slow waiting for all this stuff, but yeah, I can't keep up taking it out of the chest now and smelting it. Already took out a stack and a half of redstone and a few diamonds. And I still have so many ores upstairs. Keep melting as fast as I can. Yep. And look at this. I mean, we're really doing good on materials now. I'm happy about that. Take more gold because of that. So I'm waiting for the redstone golden chipsets and preparing all the other. Hi, buddy. Oh yeah, I can show you something else. I've been keeping on top of the wood, and I moved this chest. It was over here, but there's this little output hole back here. I don't know if you can see it. So if there's no adjacent inventory, it will spit out in the back. We had the chest over here, it was filling the chest, but when the chest was full, it just spit them out in the back. So when you move the chest behind it, when this chest is full, the harvester will simply stop. So there's no items spilling out. I made a lot of... I kept up on the oak wood mostly because we need to make a lot of fencing for barrel upgrades that I'm going to show you guys. Alright, I'm preparing the rest of the logistics pipes and then we'll set it up. Yay, I'm very excited. We're finally going to set up the logistics pipes. But I wanted to get you guys caught up real quick what I did in between recording. I had to load the desert biome because I needed some cacti to make green dye, and then I planted some down there at the farm. And here you go. This is what I built over the last day and a half. This is our first factory building. I think it's pretty cool. I wanted it to have a different look than the rest of the base because, well, it's supposed to look like a factory. And, well, let's climb down there, give you guys a quick tour and show you what we're gonna do now. Sorry for the blaze noise, but this building is going away soon. Oh, by the way, you can see I added a few more tanks down there to our XP drain, and they're all full now, and I still have 40 levels. We're gonna be able to enchant for days. Okay, all the way around this is just grass, and I planted some trees around it. And I put the aqueous accumulator and put it into this fountain with a new ender tank system on top. And if I need water somewhere, I made 2 spare tanks. We can simply use that from now on instead of having to run pipes or have its own water source at every station we need it on. we set everything up during the recording, but when I was editing the footage for this episode, I noticed that it took way too long. That one automation, only half of what you see in there now, it took over 30 minutes by itself. And it was very repetitive and kind of boring. So I thought that I'm gonna show you guys everything that is set up now, because it's still only about building materials, and it feels like for now the third episode that's been all I've been talking about. So I want to wrap this up in this episode, and then we can finally start with new and more exciting stuff. Logistics pipes are awesome, so I'm gonna walk you through how this works. This section over here is gonna be the storage. You see that there's only one of each. So I sifted gravel, sand, and dust. The dust and the gravel, we had everything already, but today I did some sand to get all those items. So all these items here and the ingots that we're gonna automate are gonna go in these barrels. This is gonna be set up next episode, and then we're gonna connect it to the main workshop so we have access to all these items from there. Power, furnace generators, they work really well, but you see we're down to 3 stacks of blaze rods now. So beginning of next episode, we're gonna set up the automatic blaze farm, because this automation here always runs and it's gonna suck us dry. And I want to make sure that we get the power source figured out here first before I turn everything back on. Alright, we got 5 pulverizers and 4 smelters. And this is only for these materials: gravel, sand, dust, stone, and then producing clay, bricks, nether bricks, concrete, and hardened clay. So these are all the building materials. The wood is already taken care of, and after this I don't ever need to worry about building materials and I can go nuts. So we have 2 igneous extruders up here automatically going into this barrel. Now these barrels here, only on this wall, 5, have each structural 1 and structural 2 upgrades, as well as a void upgrade. What that means is that if these barrels are full and the logistics system keeps pumping into them, it's simply going to be sacrificed to the void gods. So nothing in this system can ever spill that is automated. These over here don't have any upgrades because I don't see that they're ever going to be full, because all these machines back here are manually turned on or off. And these 2 pulverizers, we are pulverizing cobble to make gravel. In these 2, we're pulverizing gravel to make sand. And then the last one, we're pulverizing sand to make dust. And this extruder here is hooked up to that ender tank with water to always produce stone. I don't need much stone, but for the ceiling here I needed to smelt a bunch in the workshop, a bunch of cobblestone into stone and to make the slabs. And if we ever want to use stone bricks or anything, then, well, it's set up, it's set and forget, there's never going to be a shortage again. Now, about the logistics pipes. It's built on BC Transport, Buildcraft Transport. So you see here, all these gray pipes are regular stone transport pipes. And on every intersection or junction needs to be a basic logistics. If you make this a regular stone pipe, it works, but the output that comes from the pulverizers or smelters sometimes goes up in the right direction, or sometimes goes down, and then it's like once it hits this one, it turns around. So it's just recommended to always have a basic logistics pipe at the intersections, because that way the network just knows where to put stuff right away. There's no misrouting. And altogether we have 3 different types of logistic pipes. You see on the top machines that are always the output is basic logistics pipes. You could also use stone pipes here, but then it's possible that whatever comes out goes all the way over here, bounces back, spills. So just use basic logistics pipes, because as soon as it comes out, the network knows, hey, I need to send it there. The second type we have is a supplier logistics pipe that is always on the input of the pulverizers and also the furnaces. And how this works is, if you use a crescent hammer or another type of wrench and you right click it, you get this UI here. And I'm telling this one, keep the machine that is connected to you supplied with 64 cobblestone. This bulk 50 here is the default setting. What that means is, I can demonstrate this, there's now 58 in there because it filled it up, it ran, and then it stopped. But bulk 50 means that if this goes below 32, let's do this, it's 29, I'm going to refill it. And it's back up to 64. That's what the bulk 50 means. Back in there. And you see I got this one set up with cobble, this one with cobble. The next one here is gravel, another gravel, and the sand. So now all these are turned off, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn them all on for a second so you guys can see them, but I don't want them to run too long. All right, get pulverized, and all this stuff goes up into the correct barrels. And once they're all below 32, then the next gravel, sand comes down here, and cobble to get pulverized again. So I think this is really neat. It's once you crafted everything, which takes the longest, and I also deleted that footage because it was just, there was so much to craft, it was insane. So we have I'm actually gonna leave this one on to keep making dust. We have enough sand and gravel for sifting for a long time. Now, and I'm gonna just show you guys these here. I set up this one to supply gravel to the smelter or furnace, because that cooks it into concrete. This one here gets netherrack when I tell it to, and it makes nether bricks. This one gets clay to make regular bricks, and this one gets clay blocks to make hardened clay. Okay? And right now they are all with levers. And once we have the resources, I'm going to replace all of these with wireless receivers. Also the one back here. Because then we can have in the workshop or somewhere, maybe with computer craft, I don't know yet how we're going to do that. Because we're going to, in the workshop, then you open the interface and you see, oh, I'm down to whatever, half a stack of concrete. And then I can remotely turn this on and or turn off. I think that's going to be really fun. And I understand and know, guys, that all this would be a lot easier with using applied energistics and level emitters and stuff, what I've always been using. But I wanted this to be different this time. And I think it's a really cool look for factory, seeing all these things moving around and not multiplayer friendly, all these extra entities, but in this Let's Play, we're going to stick with this. Now this one right here took me a while to figure out. You see here, I'm supplying one dust at a time because it only one fits inside. And I needed to add this transfer node because I could not figure out how you can turn off an extraction logistics pipe or anything. I don't know if that's possible, but this way I can turn off the output. So right now you see there's one clay block in it because it's turned off. But if I turn this on, the clay block gets sucked out. And then, there we go. There's the dust, next clay block. And so on. It's not very fast, but it's fast enough one at a time. It's a lot better than doing all this by hand. So, and then if you want to disable it, just turn it off so you don't use all the dust to make clay blocks. Because we do have enough. I only use it for the orange stained clay so far. And over here, you guys know these two, the terrain smasher and the block placer. Also gonna be wireless transceiver if I need more clay to make bricks, or I just need clay for other recipes, you just turn this on. And this also I set to only one at a time, because the smelter needs to cook 4 of these first. So this is also fast enough. It is automated. You can just turn it on or off, so there's no more other interaction from my end, but just turn it on and that's it. The third type of logistics pipe we needed was the logistics chassis MK2. There's an MK1 to MK5. Each one of them you have more of these module slots. The MK2 has 2. And I went with these because we only need 2. We need this item sync module in each one of them and a provider module. So each one of the barrels, including here, this one, and also this clay barrel, they all have those. Now what those modules do is the item sync module is configured on this one to clay. So now anywhere in the network, when clay enters, the network knows send it here. Okay? Now this is in preparation for making this entire thing one network and having an ender chest that comes from a quarry or something, where stuff just automatically gets inputted. So now this system knows where to send everything. And the second module is the provider module. You don't need to set anything here, just leave it default. And what that does is tell the network, I have clay. So now if I have a request pipe or anything, or any of these supplier logistics pipes, like this one, I need clay blocks. This one is gonna answer, I have clay blocks. So now the network knows where to send items and where to extract them from. That is it for this episode, everyone. Thanks so much for being patient with me. I obviously bit off too much that I could fit into one episode. It was just too much. Getting everything together, crafting it, and then setting it up all within 30 minutes. That was just too much, and I'm gonna work on improving on that to do everything cut up a little more. But next episode we're gonna go ahead and hook up this storage here. I'm gonna craft everything, all the pipes and modules that we need for it between episodes, and we're gonna move the sifters over here, and all the output is then automatically gonna go in here and into a few extra chests where all the ore goes in for right now. And we're also gonna replace the tower over here with an actual automated blaze farm with a grinder and so on to automatically supply the blaze rods for here or anywhere else in the base where we're gonna need power, because we're gonna have blaze rods coming out of our ears. We never need to worry about power again after that. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you liked it, I'll appreciate if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That would help me out a lot. Until next time, cheers.